want to try and find something truly terrible here. Let me just add a few tags. Single player. Ooh, let's add RPG Maker to the mix. And boom! Okay, let's see what we got here. Lots of adult content. Yeah, I can't show this on YouTube. See, this is the kind of progression we need. This is accessibility. All these games, they can be played with one hand. That's progress. I'm on a budget, so why don't we sort by lowest price? Girl with the big sword. Okay, I am saving you. You are going to be my white whale, friend. Alright, what's this? Oh, shit, it's an actual Steam page. There's like fonts and everything. So let's see what you've made. Cracked Ghost. And no other games. Okay. Let's see what the publisher has done. Okay, and it looks like the publisher did make something else. Oh, nope. Nope, it's the same thing. It's just a partnership. Okay, we might actually have a winner here. Let's see what the reviews say. Terribly boring. All right. This one just says spooks. Half an hour of gameplay on it. Isabel is kinda hot, though? A knockoff Blair Witch. Oh. Oh, well, now we have to get it. Let's start this bitch up and see what we got. Okay, so what the hell is this game? Well, the review had it spot on. It's Blair Witch, but it's more like that sequel to Blair Witch. Not the good sequel, the stupid one. So you play as Andrew, and he's got a wife named Isabel, and yeah, solid 9s out of 10 there. We're amateur filmmakers, and we're going to go on a trip to find some spooky occurrences. There's been a bunch of creepy disappearances or whatever, some ghostly forests. I mean, this is a plot that basically writes itself. Oh, I wish. So after about 7 sweet seconds of deliberation, we've decided that we're going to go to Portland, Maine, and investigate the spooky happenstances going on in the Pembrey forest. Okay, never mind. I guess we're going to Carmarthenshire, UK.
Nice, such a bargain, I'm proper nice.
Yeah, that was not a lame editing trick. That's actually how the game starts. The title cards are messed up. They're in the wrong order. So, as Andrew, it's your duty to go around the forest and document some creepy footage in hopes of having enough to explain what's really going on. Not bad so far. We established what's needed at the end and the steps that we got to take to get there. I'm pretty sure this is just going to involve a lot of multi-layer puzzling, deciphering the... We're just going to be walking around and pressing the action button. That's the core gameplay right now. Walking and interacting. I'm not entirely opposed to that. I mean, Yume Nikki was just walking around and hitting the action button, and that game was a masterpiece. But, how do I put this? The walking is jank. The frames are jank. The lighting is jank. There is so much jank in this game. I thought this was just OBS making my computer run like shit, but no. This computer can chug out 60 dedicated frames per second on DMC5 Ultra settings. There's no reason why it should run like shit, but it does. I have a suspicion as to why it runs this terribly, but I'm gonna need to get to the end of the game before I can figure that out. Oh yeah, and because I'm a QA tester at heart, I decided to talk to Isabel multiple times and found out she has different dialogue for each time. Cute, right? Well, that's the only time this happens, so my brain dead ass wasted 20 minutes of game time talking to everything multiple times and expecting shit to change. And because I kept thinking that more than just the bare minimum was put into this game, I stand here and talk to Isabel at least 30 more times before giving up and moving on. So, as Andrew, you saunter on over from the campsite to your car and find this creepy swing to record your wife in front of while she talks about stuff. What stuff exactly is she talking about? Some exposition that forwards the plot? No, it's just fluffy dialogue. Fluffy dialogue that explains next to nothing. It's not endearing, it doesn't establish character. There's this bit where the microphone makes a weird sound. That's about it. Realizing that this game is more visual novel than actual game, they decide to head over to the main lodge campground thingy to talk to people. Okay, we get a shot of the car driving up this street, and I really start to worry that this game was actually made by the dudes who made Camp Sunshine. I mean, look at that and look at this. The art here, exactly the same. The sound design is pretty close too. I really considered at this time to stop the recording because I was genuinely afraid that I was accidentally treading on Proto Fossil Games territory. Like, man, I got 40 subs. I can't afford to punch up like that. So before we head into the lodge, I venture off the beaten path and find some spooky shit. There's this abandoned car right here, and as soon as Oh. Yo, bro, I'm making this RPG Maker game pretty quick. How do we let the player know that they found a cool secret? We could reward their curiosity with an interesting animation or an art Nope. Just a big old text box that says documented. I mean, look at that. That is goddamn dafont.com. Inside the lodge, you're supposed to talk to this guy, Ethan, about a spooky encounter he had in the woods, but instead I just nagged my wife to play pool at least 10 times. Turns out Ethan was in the woods with his buddies, generic RPG Maker Asset 1 and Sam from Danny Phantom, and they want to make a spooky video. There's this joke about filming it vertically that goes on for so long I can hear Jeffrey Katzenberg already making another app about it, and they head into the woods. But oh no, shit gets dark, and Ethan has to bust out his flashlight. Oh god. The flashlight. We'll get to that. They lose sight of generic RPG Maker character 1, so they gotta look for him, and they come across some animal bones in the wood. Oh wait, no. I thought Andrew was making this documentary. Did Ethan document this? Or is Andrew documenting this because Ethan said that it's important to document it? Excuse me, cracked ghost, take that meta. Just dial it back a little bit. Also, have you been to literally any forest? There are animal bones all over the damn place. That's like 90% of what forests are composed of. You got trees, grass, shit, and bones. That's it. So we find RPG Maker guy, and it turns out he was just Joey Salads, and all of our asses have been pranked, and he's uploading that dope reaction to his horror TikTok or some shit. We cross a bridge, and woo, Shadow Man, whatever, not scary. Flashback over. Did you learn anything? No, because what was the focus of that scene? I bet when this scene started off, it was supposed to be about that shadow monster man or whatever, because that seems like it's fitting into the overarching themes that the game wants to play with, but no. Instead, the focus shifted on fucking Dobre brother over here, and the pranks that he was pulling on Ethan and Sam from Danny Phantom. Now, remember this lack of focus. With the flashback over, we do some more exploring. First, we explore this old cabin that teaches us nothing. And then we leave and... wait, what? What? Is this a thing? Is this a Majora's Mask timer mechanic? So I reluctantly choose to end the day, and the scene moves on. This is the only time the game ever does something like this. This is also going to become a recurring theme. Mechanics being brought up and then just being dumped a second later. So the couple stare out at a lake and then they decide it's time for bed. We wake up the next morning to, wait, what the fuck? Oh right, this is a horror game. I forgot. So did the game because now we have this shoehorned horror segment to dive into. Fine, bring it on, Pembrey. I used to speedrun Witch's House. Give me that shit. Give me all the puzzles you got. Wait, no puzzles? Oh, the way to leave is literally dedicated on a timer and nothing I do influence? Fine, fuck it. It appears we are in a lodge and an old-fashioned clock is stuck at 2:51 a.m. Muy interessante. So Andrew escapes the lodge, except not really because he's a shadow thing now, and so is Isabel. At least I think. It's kind of unclear. She looks beaten up to hell and then just runs away for some reason. And now we're back at the lodge. What is going on? Okay, we're outside the tent. Honestly, this game is really starting to bore me. I was playing all this at 10 p.m. last night, and I could not stay awake to finish it in one sitting. So I decided to fuck around in the settings and check the sound, the ambience, and the controls, which they don't work. Also, what the hell is Andrew doing here with GothGF Sarah? Is the game bugging right now? So the way RPG Maker works is that a player is assigned to a sprite like an actor is assigned to a costume. You can change the costume as many times as you want, but as far as the metadata is concerned, you're always going to be the same person. So that's why you see Andrew's sprite showing up, when it really ought to be Ethan's. We talk to a shadow man again. He sprints at us, it's over. Next day, new me. We are officially in chapter 2. Did I mention this game has chapters? Well, it does. And we're in chapter 2. Out of 2. So we go into town and talk to people about their experiences because, I don't know. There's this one girl named Naomi, and she just looks like the type of girl that David Cage would have an entire scrapbook of. Ah, fuck. Clementine, you gotta reset the clock again. Thank you, girl. She's from Arizona and studying abroad in the UK. I don't have any jokes about that, so let's just invite her on her journey to find some spooky shit. Why not? I left this out, but the game has been giving us a good number of options lately. I guess because it's leading up to this multiple ending situation that lets us So now we're inside a hospital? Is this a Sleepy's mattress store? I don't know. Let's talk to Sal. He has a spooky tale about Pembrey. So we get another playable flashback. Yay. So apparently Sal woke up at the crack of dawn to go on a sweet hike, but last time I checked, that means the sun should be getting brighter as time goes on, not darker? Maybe this is because the UK is split in two, like Eastern and Western Hemisphere, so the sun behaves differently on one side than it does the other? I don't know. I mean, the toilets flow backwards in Australia, as does human evolution. So Sal wanders around on this hike, and I genuinely can't see shit. I figure this is just like a scripted fade out, but no. Sal has a flashlight, and this fucking flashlight. So the game uses Terax lighting, which is a plugin for RPG Maker that can make lights the same way Source Engine would make lights. It's not really a light. It's not really a light source. It's making a mask that keeps certain parts of the screen dark while other parts of the screen are exposed, giving the illusion of light when it's actually not there. And this is when things get so shitty. This is a top-down quad-directional RPG, which means I can see what's directly in front, to my left, right, and to the back of me. I have zero clue what 70% of the environment looks like until it enters that tiny window where I can see. Slap this all together with the janky-ass controls, the frame skipping, the generally inconsistent collisions, and you get this terrible experience I wouldn't recommend to anyone.
Who the fuck is documenting this?
Sal decides he's gonna go to bed, and I thought he was on a hike. Didn't he just start? Wait, what? Hold on. No, wait, what? It just ends. It just ends. Okay, good. Good, we're done. Fade to black and let's move on. Oh my god. It just fades. It doesn't move me to a new location. It just fades out. And that's it. You don't do this by accident in RPG Maker. You don't. God, this town is so unused. It's so empty. What the fuck? So I don't know what's happening. My brain is turning into goo. I can feel it dripping down my ears. And Isabel and Andrew just decide to go on a walk. Sure, Isabel says that the documentary is going well. And how? How? You recorded an intro and 2 people talking. You have enough footage for a Snapchat story at best. So this creepy guy is pretty creepy for no reason. I tell him to shove it. We grab a water park brochure because choices in games, and then we Uber back to our car. I am so confused right now. Whatever, spooky story time, but not in like the spooky sense with gameplay and interactivity. This is more just sitting and listening to Elena from Uncharted over there talk to us. So she thinks that these spooky going-ons are just part of like a cult or something. That's cool. I played Night in the Woods too. I'm taking a nap. So Andrew wakes up and he wants to check out the tree from earlier. Spoiler alert, it's still there. It's a fucking tree. He goes back to the tent and oh no, it's opened. Something must have opened it, but we don't know. Isabel could still be in there. If not, I bet we could do this cool segment where we're exploring through the woods at night and we gotta figure out where she is based on clues that are left behind, and maybe we can get up to... No! No? Okay, sure. Another location skip. Sure. Just kill any tension that you have and move us to a new set piece. That's fine. So Isabel is now locked in a jail cell, and we're gonna make like Jordan Peele and just get out of this bitch. So the cage itself we're stuck in is rusty, so it looks like we gotta find something to break it. Holy shit. Finally, we actually have some game here. Let's see what we can do. Let's take care of things. All right, let's get something heavy. Okay, we got a rock. I bet we can throw this and knock over something that's out of our reach and maybe use the sheets from the bed to craft like a rope looking thing. And it's over. Oh, and look, I guess it's the creepy guy from earlier. Is this going to be a chase sequence? No, I guess not. Where did he go? Seriously, where did he go? Did his pathfinding break? We're officially upstairs and the clock reads 1:24 a.m., which is almost an hour before that dream sequence Andrew was in. So I get this. This is good. This is like the totems from Until Dawn. We're getting glimpses of the future, of what could happen later. Okay, good game design, Cracked Ghost. Let's follow Shadow Boy and everything's normal again. Bust through this door and okay, we are at a cabin of sorts. Now that we've established where we are and what's going on, it only makes sense that we completely pull out the rug from under us and change scenes. So according to Andrew, it turns out some guy was outside of our tent last night, so we're gonna move to a cabin. So Isabel just decides to fuck off to the outhouse, and I do some exploring only to find that the interact icons that appear above your character are mad broken. They're appearing right now, but nothing can be selected. This directly contrasts to the few moments before where they didn't appear at all, but something could be interacted with. So basically, now I have to interact with everything so I don't miss anything in a game with little to no interaction in it as it is. Like seriously, you have all these assets and I can't do anything with them. So I have to bring the luggage from our car and into the cabin. And I'm going to be honest, this is when the cracks really start to show. Like, I'm serious, kid. Buckle up, because there is no turning back at this point. Everything up until now, Sesame Street in comparison to the crack alley we're about to walk down. So I just try to screw around with the collisions, and I actually managed to break it by hopping on this table. I spend about another 15 minutes just trying to get outside the boundaries of the cabin, but it doesn't happen. But I do find out the move location event doesn't reset when you bring in a new piece of luggage, so this constantly makes me teleport to the back of the cabin whenever I enter. That's fun and all, but these are little things. But this is nothing in comparison to the jank ahead of us. In most RPG Maker games, you can distinctly tell when the developer starts getting tired of their own project and desperately want to put a bow on it just so they can move on to something else. And this game is no exception. This game was actually in early access for a good while, and according to the followers of the early build, this game was rushed out of the gates. No polish, no finish, just push it out so the developer can work on something else. The actual percentage of completion is a little bit hazy right now. Some people say 50%, others maybe 70%. I'm going to say that this is 20% finished. On account of the broken chapter system, the lack of any real build-up until now, like it feels like we have been in Act 1 for about an hour and a half. And that's pretty good for like a feature-length thing, like an Outlast thing, or a Blair Witch thing, but this game is gonna shove us into Act 3, so bite the fucking pillow, kids. So everyone decides to gather in town and form up a little Scooby gang. We got Andrew, Isabel, Ethan, Captain Generic, Goth Chick, and that girl who looks suspiciously like that girl you banging in the beginning of Omicron. You know, the really creepy scene? Whatever, we're gonna Scooby gang this shit. What exactly are we looking for? I don't know. Ghosts, mutants, cult? How are we going to do that? By conga-lining our asses on a pixel hunt to get that sweet, sweet documented sound. Oh god, yes. This game is kind of weird. Moments like this are actually a little bit good. The colors aren't dark, but they are dusky. The sound design absolutely sucks, but visually it's not bad. It kind of reminds me of Mermaid Swamp, which was a pretty good game back in the day. It was also made on RPG Maker or Wolf RPG Editor or some shit, but hey, I like the vibe. Good on you, Pembrey, you did it. But now that I complimented the game, it has to slap me in the face by soft-locking itself. I'm not sure how I did it, but I did it. I managed to soft-lock myself by entering a fucking map. Whew. With the save now freshly reloaded, we go to the stone wall and we find a staircase in the woods. I thought this was kind of bullshit until I googled it, and apparently it's a thing? When has this been a thing? Are there just staircases in the woods near you? Like you go outside, you play around in the woods, and suddenly staircase? This is my first time hearing about this. So if you know why forests randomly house these abandoned-ass staircases, please just leave a concise comment in the comment section below, or please send a letter to my P.O. box. Please just don't send any more anthrax. Like, I got a pretty good tolerance, but that shit stains the rugs. Okay, thanks. We keep moving, but Andrew says that the moon is behind the clouds, so that means we gotta... Oh, god damn it. At least there's this valley, which is kind of easy to navigate. You just go up or down. You don't have to worry about bumping. And wait. Where did Goth Chick and Mr. Generic go? Well, the party is officially split. That is RPG Maker Horror cliche number 4 right there. So check that off the bingo cards. And what do we do now? Nothing. The game literally tells us to screw off and keep going elsewhere. Who am I to argue with genius? We reach the spooky house from Isabel's dream, and I get the sense that the pieces are coming together. It's a good thing that I wrote down those times that were on the clock on a piece of paper. I think I actually have a pretty good handle on whatever bullshit this game is going to throw at me in the Act 3. So in a true epic gamer moment, I'm going to let Isabel and Madison Page over here take a back seat while the men figure it out.
Men are here!
So the house looks totally crumbled, but the clock doesn't have a time displayed on it yet. I can only assume that this means we're before Isabel gets captured in the basement, but we're after the flashback where everything in the house was in good condition. That never gets old. Let's go into the basement and see what's up. Oh, okay, we're up here again. Well, I guess it's time for girl power then. All right, we're gonna girl boss our ass into this house. Fucking watch me. You cannot handle this shit. That was it? You changed characters for 2 minutes. Okay, so we're at this cliff right now, and actually pause it. I want you to guess what's about to happen, because I guarantee you do not have enough LSD coursing through your system to guess what is going to happen next. So what happens? A, do we see those shadow ghost things from before doing like a creepy crazy ritual around some like bones or some shit? B, do we find the protag of My Immortal and generic Lego brick 45 at the bottom of this cliff? Or C, do we witness a dated Among Us reference? Put your votes in. If you guessed that crazy guy from earlier fucking shows up and RKOs Andrew out of nowhere, you would have won. Not only does he manage to push you off the goddamn cliff, but he somehow does this being outnumbered 4-1. That's right, this random guy from this random cutscene is the big bad. Oh my god, so this is the point of no return. I feel like everything is falling apart as we speak. Seriously, I feel like Wooly during his Indigo Prophecy meltdown. Man, we got fans! We got new gameplay mechanics being thrown out seconds later. We got choices that don't matter for shit. We got this sweet chase sequence that I somehow managed to break the enemy's pathfinding 3 times in a row.
It's over! Time and space! It's Indigo Prophecy, baby!
Oh, I feel my fucking bone marrow boiling. Alright, we get chased into this abandoned factory, and Big Bad Gordy the janitor is here. Also, all of our followers are gone. No big. Sure. No big game. But since we're being chased, there isn't a focus on exploration anymore, which means that the scenery here is completely wasted, which is a shame because I kind of feel like the game wants us to wander around this area. It's like all the pieces are supposed to be coming together here, but it just doesn't. It's not giving me that push, let alone the substance needed to put things together and really have that aha moment like you should at a climax. But I do get to do this.
お前はもう死んでいる。何?
Andrew decides to bust down this door using this like ram door mechanic that's never fucking used again. It's kind of funny because there are a bunch of invisible events here, but they completely screw up the enemy's pathfinding. So I'll just be standing right next to him and he doesn't do anything. There's a table hopping mechanic that is never used again, which is something that greatly disappoints me as a Nero main. I mean, I'm a fucking table hop for days if you let me. Oh, hey, it's the goth chick from earlier. What's good? Oh, she's dead. Wait, but she was just talking to me. What the fuck is going on? What the fuck? Okay, we're on the roof now. Let's just rappel down and get the hell out of here. Sounds good? Ethan finally gets service on his phone and calls the cops, but this is the UK, and our tele license hasn't expired, so what the fuck can they do? At this point, the game is really breaking by the seams. Like, I don't know how to segue into some of these events because the game doesn't either. Like every jank cut, every crappy sound effect and terrible transition has been 100% genuine. No doctoring of any footage here, I swear. So we cut back to Evanescence and the guy who Joey saladed our asses earlier, and turns out they're just pranking us again, which is a stupid prank because who wins? Who's the benefactor of this deceit? No one. So now we get to see things from their perspective, which is kind of nice. We get to shed a little bit of light on the events that were to come with some events we may have missed. This is a postmodern corpse party approach to narrative, if you will. But, oh, okay, never mind then. They're just dead. So the Scooby Gang just enters this iron mine, I'm guessing, and the ambient background noise is on a 3-second loop. This is not a joke. Send help. So we're walking around and we're looking at stuff and nothing's happening and yada, 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 yada. Oh, hey, they forgot the tint screen command in this room. All right. Back outside and I'm just walking at this point and, oh, did you see that? Did you see that? That's actually pretty good. But then it's ruined by the cursing. I hate to tell you this, but cursing in an RPG Maker game, it's just kills the mood. It's like a voiced protagonist in a survival horror game. Like, it's not going to add anything. And ever since all those crappy Jeff the Killer RPG Maker games came out, like, cursing has effectively been ruined. So I've been throwing out a lot of dialogue just because it's all fluffy and meaningless, but right here, Andrew suspects that the killer isn't working alone, which would actually be a really interesting twist. Like, think about it from a folk horror standpoint. Andrew and Isabel are the only outsiders in this cast. And folk horror has always been indicative to the UK, with movies like The Wicker Man. Oh wait, how the fuck did he find us? Also, what the fuck are all these limbo assets doing here? Guys, is the game broken? Did I forget a scene here? And then this asshole starts quoting Resident Evil 7 in front of us, and he starts acting like a big shot. Like, you haven't even played 5. You haven't even played Umbrella Corp. Don't act like you were a fan from the start. Huh? It's over? Oh. Oh shit, that's actually kind of scary. So yeah, that's Pembrey. What, were you expecting some crazy resolution? The only resolution you get from this game is the one on your screen. That's what's so amazing about these games. Sometimes there just isn't an ending. You're left with credits and this concept of what the game could have been. But it wasn't because, you get lazy. So remember when I said like a long ass time ago that this game ran like shit? Well, this is why. In RPG Maker, you can use plugins to extend the base capabilities of what your game can do, but it's not enough to have them in your game. You also gotta optimize them. And that means putting them in the right order, unless you get some really, really awful results, like the ones you've just been seeing. Getting optimization down pat requires a shit ton of QA testing, but that's not what I like about these sorts of games. I like them because they ignore all this QA testing and just give me a sandbox that I can go around and break shit. Okay, so let's dial it back. Pembrey reminds me a lot of Outlast 2. And not just in that borrowed premise sort of way, but in the fact that it feels like something is kind of missing. Like a lot of something is missing here. There's this video on Outlast 2 by Purposeless Rabbit Holes that kind of explains how a lot of the missing pieces in Outlast 2 dragged the whole game down, and this is no exception, except Outlast 2 was still a game. This is a pastiche of a bunch of things that the developers probably thought were scary, but there's nothing inside it. Like, there's also no core. Like, let me ask a question. What is the main loop here? Walk around and interact with things? Okay, but the walking sucks, and interacting is far and few between. Survival horror? Well, that only applies to the last 30 minutes, and there's not exactly a lot of puzzles you can play with until there. Choices and consequences? Like your boys over at Telltale and Supermassive? I don't know, you gotta pick something, man. Because right now, you have nothing. And you can't release a game made of nothing. That's like selling me cotton candy, but forgetting all the sugar. You're just giving me a stick with some air. You don't have to make a masterpiece that says something profound, but you gotta know what your game is about before you start making it. Like, I don't know what this game is. Watch out for the shadow creatures? Don't be a film student? Pay your telly license? Okay, so Pembrey. -4 out of 10. That was fun. I got my giggles out of it. But right now, I just gotta make sure that the troll under the bridge outside my apartment is still there, because he's been tapping on the glass lately. Like, I can hear it when I'm sleeping. Never does anything more. Never jumps, never shouts, never scratches himself. Just that tapping. Oh, wait, I think I see that motherfucker.
I see you.